I would really appreciate hearing you wax poetic about the James Gang. Side note, I'd also love to hear you guys rate and rank the Opeth discography.
Oh my God.
Not sure who else would be interested in that, but I'm down to hear it in a bonus or something.
Anyway,
keep up the great work.
Are we doing that right now?
Let's fucking do it.
You did tell us to do this.
No, I did tell you.
You did. I didn't know it was. I didn't do it. I didn't make a list
either.
However, I can do it off the top of my head.
I made a list.
I can do it off the top of my head.
I made a list for this. I didn't know it was Roger.
Wow. Okay. Opeth, one of the greatest bands of all time. Anyone who doesn't listen to them is gay.
So they do have a lot of albums.
They have a lot of albums.
13, I think.
Yeah, I'd say the first 8 are perfect.
Once again, we're rating God tier stuff amongst God tier stuff.
I think it's the first 8. Everything up to Watershed, I would consider to be absolutely perfect.
And I'll say this:
right, you can't say 8 albums out of 13 are S rank. You know, you got to rank. It's tough.
Oh, you made them letters?
I made.
I'm just gonna put
D,
them
C,
in order
B, A, and then S.
Best.
I put like my elite and then A, B, C, D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, So we're gonna have 3 different lists here.
Yeah.
We are.
And I'll say this: I find them to be a very varied band.
Yeah, they have different.
Where
eras.
it's so different each style and album.
Yeah.
That it's really a matter of personal preference as to what you really like.
Of course.
Okay. Everyone has turned off the radio by now.
Yeah.
Radio.
I'm gonna start my worst album. Worst one they ever made is in fact the last album, unfortunately, Encardia Venom. I tried to like that. I played it like 5 times when it came out. I tried to force myself to like it, and it was just so mediocre and boring. I just couldn't get
That's on my D tier list.
The only album that I think is not good. All of the other ones are at least good.
When was the last time you re-listened to it?
Like not long after it was new.
Give it another try.
Did you play it recently?
I listened to it for the first time, I think, like last year.
Swedish version or English version? Because there's both.
I think I listened to the Swedish version.
You couldn't tell?
This is a year ago.
Oh, that was the last time you listened to it?
Yeah.
I listened to it recently. It's still on my bottom tier.
It's the bottom.
Yeah.
It's easily the worst one, right?
Yeah.
You feel the same way, Brain?
I also put it at the same with Heritage.
Heritage.
I think they're both. I think they're both D tier. They're the worst ones.
So
Heritage is good, man.
You always liked it.
I like Heritage.
You did.
So Heritage was the album that they completely changed their style and went into a almost 70s prog worship.
Yeah.
From where they had forged their absolutely unique style before that.
It's the demarcation point of like Opeth. They radically changed from there.
Yes.
You know?
And don't go back.
No.
They gained with that album, I think a lot of older people got into them. Mm-hmm. Whereas the younger metal guys actually, some of them detest that album. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad album at all. I think it's fine. It's different than where they were. Mm-hmm. And the songs just aren't as strong as what would come after
There's
that.
No highs.
Yeah, it's very meandering.
It's like a mid-tier prog
It's
album.
long too.
Yeah.
So we're all agreed. Oh no, you're not.
He's not. I like Heritage a lot.
What is your next weakest?
My bottom one would actually be Orchid.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you should probably turn. I should turn his mic off.
Probably just
not my favorite.
All right, let's talk about Orchid though. That's the first.
Should I put him on 0?
Orchid is interesting because obviously it's the debut, so nobody had ever heard anything quite like this before. But if you listen to it a lot, I think you start to hear it's almost like Maiden with death growls. At different times.
It is insanely classical based.
Yeah.
It is very much like showing their technical prowess. And for a first album,
I think it's before Agathon really took over the band.
Yeah.
Twilight Is My Robe is incredible.
Silhouette.
Yes.
Just the piano solo.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. You're like, why? You're like, why am I listening to like
In Miss
classical?
You Was Standing is like fucking god tier.
Insane.
Ryan, what are you talking about? Why don't you like Orchid?
Orchid is my A tier list.
From my memory of Orchid, now I haven't listened to it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the production values being a little like
production's
shittier.
not great. It's not,
and that's kind of why I put it lower.
Do you not like death metal in general?
Not really. I don't think.
I'm way there. I'm so like weird about what I like and don't like with it. I like a fan, a listener of the show emailed me or was messaging with me and asking me about death metal. I was like, I don't say I'm a fan. I say I like some things. I don't like other things.
I like some of those.
Picky. So, to me, it's the production value is not that great. To me, I don't love it the way I like others.
All right.
I want to
what's
give
next?
my C tier. And I think, so my D tier, I have Heritage, right?
And Incarnate Venom.
And Incarnate Venom. My C tier, I put Sorceress.
To me, Sorceress is the best of the new era.
I put Pale Communion on there. And I put Watershed on C tier.
Wow.
And you'll see why, because the B, A, and S are just so ridiculously strong and different that I can't.
I say new. I'm realizing how ridiculous that sounds. New era is started in 2011.
Right. Yeah. You can't call it that. Don't even talk about eras. Just talk about the general, just the album where it stands.
It's definitely Sorceress and Pale Communion are the next two on my list, but I think Sorceress edges out Pale Communion. I like both of those albums.
I'm reversed. I actually think Pale Communion is better than Sorceress. I like Pale Communion.
They're both good.
Yeah.
I would actually go Heritage, Sorceress, Pale Communion, Incarnate Venom.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorceress has the song that sounds like Aqualung.
Yeah.
Will o' the Wisp.
Yeah.
That's a great track. River is very good off Pale Communion.
Yeah.
Those are both two good albums.
I also set it so that each tier I can only put 3.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I put Watershed down in the C tier.
And then we get to the good stuff.
I love Watershed.
I do too, but
Watershed would be like probably top 5 for me.
I can't put, because I love everything else so much more. Maybe I'll put Orchid here and say Orchid is worse than Watershed is for me.
Okay.
Like that, I'd go Watershed. I'm sorry, I go Orchid, then Watershed, and then I get into like the stuff I truly adore.
I'm gonna do my B tier. Yeah. So, you can look. What do you see there?
All right, so Steve has in B Morning Rise, Deliverance, and My Arms, You're Hers. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't Morning Rise have Black Rose Immortal on it?
Yes, it does.
Dude, so this was hard. This was hard for me.
This is fucking hard. Okay. This is
hard for me.
For me, after Watershed, now we're into like glorious shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put My Arms, You're Hers.
I think that's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
That's where
it's not as good as the other stuff there.
Yeah. I think Deliverance
was my first Opeth album I ever heard.
Yeah.
Changed my life, got me into this type of music.
Mm-hmm.
I have such a love for that album.
I think Deliverance and Damnation are very similar.
Well, they came out at the same time.
So it's like, I kind of want to keep them in the same
You want to keep them next to each other.
And because they're so similar, I think it kind of drops it down the list. That's my rationale.
This may be sacrilege to some people, but I'm going to put Ghost Reveries.
You could switch it, yeah,
as the next weakest.
You could. I can see
why. Because I have too much love for Deliverance that I can't put it there. But then I'll put Deliverance.
I'm assuming Damnation is
next.
Yeah.
Damnation would be like top 5.
That's your number? That's your number 1?
No, it'd be like in the top 5.
Damnation is the acoustic album.
Yeah, I love Damnation.
Damnation is the album I got my dad to like them with. Like he wasn't into this type of music at all, but I played that for him. And
I think I meant Deliverance. Deliverance is kind of tied with
Damnation.
No, with
Morning Rise.
Morning Rise.
Morning Rise is so fucking good.
Yeah,
like Morning Rise might be my number 2. I know what my number 1 is.
Morning Rise is a great album. I know my number 1.
We're getting down to the wire now. For me, Blackwater Park
is your top.
No, is the next one down. Next one down.
Blackwater Park is probably my number 3.
So this is my A tier. I got Orchid and I have Ghost Reveries for my A tier. I think
this has to
Orchid's insanely great.
This is so brutal.
Ghost Reverie is, who doesn't know? Yeah, they can skip it. Ghost Rev
fast forward, guys.
Unique as fuck. Ghost Reverie, hard and unique as fuck.
Harlequin Forest is so fucking amazing.
Insanely good.
Do you see what you did, Roger? I hope you're happy.
Yeah. S tier. This is the top 3 that I cannot.
I'll tell you my top 3 right now.
I can't do a number
Still
one.
Life is number 1.
Still Life
Still
is
Life.
number 1.
Still Life is the best album they ever made.
Yes.
We all agree on this?
Yeah,
It's
Still
up
Life
there.
is
Yeah, it's
my
S
number
tier.
1.
Blackwater Park is S tier. And
It is,
And
but-
Damnation is S tier.
For me, it's
I'm with you.
For me, it's
Yeah.
Still Life, Morning Rise, and Damnation. Damnation is number 3. Yeah. Okay. We did it.
There
That's
you
it.
go.
We've lost.
You know, it's
Everyone.
not. We're not too different, but you know,
No, we're not too different,
it's-
but
I think that's almost a general consensus.
honestly,
amongst
the
fans.
most radical thing was Brian shitting on Orchid.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I don't like that.
He's an asshole.
That was mean.
I would boost if I was really saying that ranking. I probably would boost the proc shit up more. How
He's
about
an
that?
asshole.
How about that?
You like Circle of the Tyrant?
Yeah, I do like that song.
That's that bonus track on that album. That's just noise. It's
Yeah.
unlistenable because the production's so worthless.
Well, thank you for the email, Roger. It was very nice of you. We won't do that for everyone, but for a first day listener,
Yes.
day one listener, we'll do that for
And
you.
you tickle our fancy with one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, we'll do it
We're
for
gonna jump
you.
at it.
That's not an every. That's a rare occurrence.